Hello. So today I just wanted to tell you guys about the neighbors across the street. Um, but first, I just took a shower, so don't mind my hair. It's wet, but it'll probably be dry by the end of this video. And also, I'm a little bit hungry, so uh, I've got my blackberries that I literally just bought, and I was gonna put them in a smoothie, but I was cleaning them and I was like, oh my god, those look so good. So, and I'm so hungry. But I wanted to give you guys this update anyway. So, yeah, I'm gonna be eating these blackberries. I can just go to the store and get more. Okay, before we get into the whole neighbor thing, so good. Okay, I wanted to give you an update on these little signs from Dollar Tree. I did a Dollar Tree haul, I don't know, like a week or two or so ago or something, and they had these signs. And I've mentioned before that I don't like these signs because, I live in Texas, like I've said before, and it is very like hot and humid. It's so humid, it's like swimming outside. But these, they're not real wood. It's like particle board or whatever. So, like whenever I put them in the yard, they just kind of like droop down and look all sad and like gross. So I don't ever buy these, but I was like, this one is so cute. Um, and my husband's like, well, why don't you ever just put like polyurethane on them? And I'm like, polyurethane? What? And he was like, yeah, polyurethane is to like protect, like wood and stuff like that from getting wet, like, you know what I mean? Anyway, I was like, you're just telling me this now. So I forgot about it, and then I was putting up my Easter decorations, and then I saw this, and I was like, oh yeah, I have to put the polyurethane on it. So I, laid some stuff out, and I started painting it, and as soon as I started putting the paint on there, I was like, oh no, I'm such an idiot. Because number one, this is not real wood. It is particle board. Number two, this design is a piece of paper on top of particle board. So, like, I don't know if you can see it, but like it bled through. Um, it's like all weird and spotty, and like the little hands look dirty and stuff. I don't know. I'm like, what is that? I don't know. I'm kind of upset about it because I was like, and then the back has polyurethane on it too, but it just soaked it up like immediately, and there's no barrier or anything. So I don't know. I'm still gonna stick this outside to see if the humidity can get to it. But like maybe next time what I'll do is I'll just like Mod Podge this part and then put the polyurethane on the actual stick. Like hopefully, I don't know. That's why I want to put it outside to like test it to see if it will droop over or whatever. Anyway, so yeah, polyurethane not such a good idea for the paper. Yeah. So like the second I put it on there, I was like, oh my god, what are you doing? But it was too late. And I was like, well, let me just go ahead and coat this through. I was like, maybe this part it'll like dry up and it won't be so gross looking, but that was not the case. So yeah, it's kind of disappointing. Anyway, so sorry if I get like little black seeds in my teeth, just ignore it because I don't care. Okay, so I don't know how many of you guys have seen that one video that I have, but it is the diamond painting video. Well, I wasn't meaning to like talk about my neighbors or gossip. Sorry, but I had the windows open and like you were hearing outside noises and like trucks going by. But the neighbors across the street, they tend to be rather loud, and it's just a bunch of boys that live in that house, and at first, like, I thought that they were the movers, and I was like, oh, the new people are going to be moving in soon. Because the old couple that lived there, they were about the same age as us, and they had twins the same age as like my son, and they put their house up for lease. And when the movers came in, um, there was this sign in the front yard that said, "It's a boy," and I was like, "Oh, goody!" Um, they just had a new baby, new house. Like, that just seems really nice and sweet to me. And so the movers like moved the stuff in, and I was waiting for the couple to come with their new little baby boy so that I could like introduce myself and give them a card saying like congratulations, all that kind of thing. But they never came, and it was just all these random cars coming at all hours of the night, and it was like never the same person. Well, eventually, me and my husband, we were outside and we saw somebody that was the same person, and the only reason we knew it was the same person was because he wore this weird outfit like all the time, and he drove a moped. Well, one day we were outside and the kids were riding their bikes, and I didn't want them to get hit, and so I told him to get out of the way so that guy on the moped could leave. And he waved, and my husband was like, he said hey to him or whatever, and he was like, where do you work? Because me and my wife have been trying to figure it out, because this outfit that he this outfit that he wears, it's like a long sleeve button up collared shirt, and it had some kind of logo on it. It looked like a dolphin or something. I don't know. It was weird. And then he had these huge pirate pants. I was like, what? So he was like, where do you work? Like, what is this outfit? And the guy, he said he works at some buca de, I don't know. It's a Brazilian steakhouse, whatever. I'm like, what a weird costume or uniform. Uniform. It looks like a costume. But what a weird uniform for a waiter to wear. Anyway, but he said that, yeah, the whole house, everyone who lives in that house works at the restaurant. So you have waiters, bartenders, cooks, the managers, they all work at the restaurant, and they all live in this house. So there's like 12 people in this house. Anyway, but it made sense after I found that out, because it was always different cars, and there would be people arriving at weird times, and like normal houses and like families, they have like a schedule, go to work, come home, kids go to school, kids come home, like just normal. I mean, it's a normal neighborhood, but this house across the street, their schedule was so weird, and I never saw the same people twice. It was just like I was like, what is this, like some kind of crazy drug house or something across the street? Like, it was weird, and they were coming at all hours of the night. I'm talking like between 2 and 4 o'clock in the morning, and like I get up early because my husband gets up early for work, so I was up at that time. Normal people aren't up at that time, I don't think. But these kids were up, and they were like, on Thursday night, I would like wake up, because sometimes when the weather is good, we sleep with our windows open so like the cool breeze can come in the house and stuff, Well, I woke up to like these screams, and I look outside, and they're just having a party in their driveway, and they've got like this little fire pit, like having this little bonfire, and there's a whole bunch of them out there, and they're all like laughing and like, I don't know, just having a good old time. And I'm like, it's 2:30 in the morning on a Thursday. Like, what are you doing? But after I found out that they work at the restaurant, I was like, oh, okay. that makes sense because their restaurant closes at like 11:30 or something at night, and then they have to stay and like clean up and all that crap. So I get it. They come home, they want to relax and just have some drinks with their friends and stuff, which is totally fine. But this is like a very family oriented neighborhood, and it's not really okay to do at 2:30 in the morning on a Thursday night. Like, we got kids here stuff, and like they have school in the morning, people have work, like I don't know, you like just show a little respect for your neighbors. But they're kids, they're like between 19 and like 25 or something, so their priorities are different. um but anyway, but once I found out that they worked at the restaurant, I was like, all right, they're just being young kids and they want to relax and have fun. Like if I lived in a house like that, house is probably a 4 or 5 bedroom house. It's rather large. And if I had a house like this and I lived there with like a bunch of my coworkers and friends when I was 19, I would think that would be pretty cool, you know? Um, and like their bills have to be like super cheap since they're like dividing everything like 12 ways. Like, yeah, that's awesome. Um, but anyway, so I just like ignored it. I was like, whatever. Um, but anyway, so yesterday, and I never knew what that whole "it's a boy" sign was about, because why did they put that sign up there? I was expecting the couple with a baby, and that never happened. Um, but anyway, uh, and then like it stayed up there for so long that eventually like the wind and rain kind of like tore it and knocked down. Um, and then we just never saw it again. But it always confused me. Well, yesterday, I was outside with the kids, and they were riding their bikes, and it was like about to start raining, and so I was like, you know what, guys, let's just go ahead and go in. Let's get cleaned up and stuff, and just relax before it's like bedtime or whatever. So they were going in, and then I needed to take the trash can out to the street because the garbage whatever was running the next day, and I didn't want to forget. So I took it out there, and then the neighbor, not across the street, but that lives right next door to them, so there's like catty corner to me, he was doing yard work, and I call him Red Shirt. Me and my husband both call him Red Shirt because one time when they were like moving in, my husband, he was like, oh, the new family's moving in across the street, like over there. I was like, oh yeah. And I was like, where? Because I didn't see anybody. He was like, right there, the guy in the red shirt. And I was like, oh, Red Shirt. So like ever since then, I don't know, it's been like maybe 2 or 3 years, he's just been a Red Shirt. Red Shirt, Red Shirt's wife, Red Shirt's kids. It's funny, I don't know, like it's just weird to ask his name now, you know what I mean? Anyway, so Red Shirt was doing yard work, and he saw me bring the trash cans out, and he came over to me and he was like, hey, I want to talk to you. And I was like, okay, what's going on? And he was like, so do you have any problems with the neighbors over here? And he was like acting weird, and I was like, you mean like the neighbors across the street from me? And he was like, yeah. And I'm like, well, I mean, I don't know, like I don't have any like major complaints or anything. I was like, why? Have you been having problems? And he was like, yeah, and I want them freaking gone. And I'm like, oh my gosh, what happened? And he said, well, number one, they party every single night. until like 4 o'clock in the morning. And he gets up at like 3 o'clock in the morning to get ready for work, and then he leaves by 4. So him and my husband like leave right about the same time. And I'm like, yeah, I've heard that. But like, he's right next door, and our houses have maybe 15-20 feet in between them, and his kids' bedrooms are right there. And they're very, very loud. Well, he says that he hates it. I was like, yeah, they work at a restaurant though, so they get off really late. I was like, I'm not making excuses. I can see why they do it so late. But I was like, that's kind of messed up because, yeah, your kids' bedrooms are right there. I didn't even think about that. And Red Shirt and Red Shirt's wife, they I just found out they're pregnant, so they're having baby number 3. Yikes. Uh, but babies need their rest and stuff, and so they don't need that like loud music and like laughing and screaming going on, waking up their baby. Like that's, I mean, the more that I think about it, the more it's like very inconsiderate of those kids, but their brains just don't, I don't know. I feel like people that young don't think about other people's lives. I mean, I'm sure there's plenty of kids that do, but I don't know. Just priorities are different. But anyway, so he said, yeah, and he said the other night, they were having this like loud rager, and he was leaving for work, and he asked him, he was like, can you guys be quiet because my kids are trying to sleep, and they were just like, continue on. And he got really mad. Well, apparently his wife woke up later and came outside, and I saw her because we take our kids to school at like the same time. So I had like waved at her, and she like didn't even acknowledge me, and I was like, whoa, what's going on there? But it was because she was a little distracted, because apparently that night they had the restaurant kids had their little raging party, and they had thrown like glass beer bottles at their house and like broke them on their house. And I guess there was like a lot of noise, and so she like wanted to make sure, I guess, nothing was messed up on her house. Well, they broke the glasses on their house, and I know it was an accident, but like they didn't even care about it, because they put their trash, the restaurant kids, they put their trash cans on the other side of their house, just like right there. So they were probably standing in the driveway and just like threw it, but threw it too hard, and then it hit their house. But they continued to do it. Anyway, but she had gone outside, and there were just broken glass bottles everywhere, and she was like really mad because her kids, they're pretty young. I think they're like 6 and 3 maybe. And you don't, little kids like that, they're running around their own yard, they don't think, let me look for broken beer bottles, be safe. They're just running around playing. So that's kind of dangerous, to have around when you've got little kids like that. And I don't know, but so she went over there to try and talk to them about it, and she was like, you guys need to clean all this up because I have kids and this is dangerous. So the guy came out and he looked at it and cleaned it up, I guess, or maybe he didn't. Oh no, he didn't. So he came out there and he looked at it, but then just never cleaned it. And when she came back from dropping the kids off, she looked and it was still out there. So she apparently called the cops on them, and like that is a violation against their lease agreement or something. I don't know. But anyway, and so they hate them because apparently they also have a cat in the house, and they don't know what to do with like the litter box or whatever. So what they do is they take the litter box, walk it out to the trash can, like up to the street, and then just dump it in the grass. And I've like, oh, that makes sense, because I have seen Red Shirt out there at least once or twice a week with the hose cleaning off this one patch of grass in his yard. And I'm like, what is he doing all the time? Like, why does he just water this one area? But now it makes sense, because they apparently just drop their cat litter in between their houses, like in the front. And it's like, that's gross, dude. Like, what? So I understand why that guy's mad. But he said that he went across to the other side of their house and talked to her. And she, the other neighbor, and she apparently has complained against them as well. And she went online and found out who the leasing company is. And she contacted the leasing company and was like, these guys are loud. They're always smoking weed and stuff, because she's got kids too. And she's like, they throw parties in the middle of the night. They do drugs. There's random people just coming all hours of day and night, you know, and like she doesn't feel safe, I guess. I don't know. But anyway, so she made a complaint to the management office, and Redshirt told me that he spoke to them because he's friends with the original owner, and they're apparently getting in some big trouble because, number one, they have the police report, which is a violation against their lease agreement. And then when the management office, when they got the complaint, they had to go in to do like an evaluation of the house or whatever. And apparently they have tons of violations. Like, they have destroyed the house, and they have tons of pets in there that they are not authorized to have. Like, apparently they're not even supposed to be having pets, and they've got 2 dogs, and I guess they have a cat, because they have the cat litter just everywhere. But anyway, oh, and then like they've broken all the blinds in the house, and these are like, in our houses, they're like the wood blinds, so it's like, I didn't even know, like, that's a lot of damage to like break the wood blinds, right? I don't know. But anyway, I was just like, oh my gosh, because apparently their lease is up in June, but Redshirt said that they're probably going to be kicked out like next week. So I was like, oh my gosh, that's crazy. I mean, it's good for the neighborhood, because I mean, that's messed up for both of the neighbors having to deal with that. I guess because I'm across the street, there's more distance and I don't hear as much, or you know, whatever. But I was like, it's good for them, you know, they get some peace, but you never know who's going to move in next. Hopefully it's somebody good. But I also kind of feel bad for those kids, because I mean, it's kind of their own fault because they did not respect their neighbors. But like, I don't know, like, I would just feel like the worst person in the world if I got kicked out of my own house. Like, that would just be awful, because out of all the people, all the kids that live in that house, there's got to be a few decent ones. You know what I mean? I don't know. They can't all be bad, right? I don't know. I just feel kind of bad for them. Although I shouldn't, but I do. But anyway, yeah, so that's what's going on. I just thought I'd give you an update on that, because now I finally know. Oh, I finally know what the It's a Boy sign was about. Yeah, I forgot to say that. So when they moved in, he went introduced himself to them, and he said that while he was over there, they were in the garage, like bringing their boxes in through the house, and one of them jumped off the little moving truck, and he was like, what's that? Because there were these like there was like a trash can and like the recycling bin thing, and there was like this flag behind it, and it said it's a boy. And there was a it's a boy and it's a girl, because like the couple who lived there before, they had twins, and it was a boy and a girl. And I remember those signs being up. I totally forgot about it because it was like 6 years ago. But he said when they saw those signs, they like just cracked up, and they thought it would be so funny to put it in their yard. Like, is that funny? I don't know. He thought it was stupid. He said they're so stupid. Like, he really hates them like a lot. Which is funny because he's such a nice guy. Like, our kids play together and stuff, and like, he's just so nice. But like, I guess don't make him mad, because he was super. He hates them like a lot. He can't wait for them to move. But yeah, he was like, so they just put it out in the yard thinking that it would be hilarious, and then they just left it up there. So now I finally have the explanation of the "it's a boy" flag. Anyway, so yeah, I guess I hope you enjoyed that. I don't know. I just wanted to update y'all, and then update you on this freaking sign situation. It makes me so mad about this. Like, I don't. How can I protect this from the weather? If anybody knows, please let me know, because these signs are so cute, and like I never get to get them, you know? Anyway, okay, sorry. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you soon.